Hey guys, it's Luke from Mix It Made Simple, and today I'm going to be doing a project file walkthrough of my new track, Lie Awake for You, that came out on all platforms today. It sounds like this. Make sure if you want to hear the final master version that you go check it out on Spotify or any other platform that you listen to music on. And yeah, I hope this walkthrough is helpful. I try to go in depth, but not linger too long on any individual track or section. And I talk about how I process my vocals, which I think you'll like a lot. And yeah, let me know in the comments below if there's anything you think I could do better, or if there's anything you liked about this walkthrough. If you like the track, let me know. And yeah, comment, subscribe, like, do all that stuff. It's going to help my channel grow. And if you are a music producer who is struggling to mix their music, go ahead and book a Zoom call with me. I'm working on a course right now, and I'm interviewing music producers and it's really going to help shape the final course that I do. The course is going to be coming out soon. So if you want to jump on a call and maybe even be one of the first students in my course, yeah, go ahead and look at the description below and book a call with me, and I'll look forward to talking to you soon. So yeah, I hope you enjoy this video, and let's jump on the DAW right now. Okay, so here we go. I probably mentioned this in the intro, but if you want to go ahead and skip to the end of this video, I'll have the entire playthrough of me just playing and kind of looking through the project file as it goes. Let's go ahead and start. As you can see, I've got nothing on the master. I just have a utility, just bringing up the gain, and just to make it loud enough for the streaming, the recording software I'm using. And then I got SonarWorks, and I got this mastered by a mastering engineer. I don't really want to say who he is on here because he's already busy enough, but he's really great. He helps me actually pick out a new kick, which was really helpful. So yeah, let's move along. So I'll just kind of work my way up. I think that's the best way to go, and I'm trying to get this done in like 15 minutes or less. So I've got the New York compression, which is parallel compression. I've got this on a return track so that I can send anything to it. So in this case, I have the drums sent to it, and which I'll play in a second. You'll see. Generally nowadays, I usually use a audio effect rack with chains, and so I'll put a compressor on, create a chain, and that's how I do the parallel processing now, instead of, because I feel like you have more control over it that way. But doing it with a send and return track works as well. So yeah, so I'll go ahead and play, and I'll just play through the beginning, and you can hear what I have going on in the drums. Got the decapitator for a little bit of saturation. It's just adding a little bit. It's adding a little bit, and I have it like I basically set up as a parallel as well. Just dry 50, or the 50% dry wet. Usually, I actually nowadays will keep the kick separate from the rest of the drums, because I feel like the kick should almost be just left completely alone. And if you have a good kick, you don't really need to process it anyway. But in this case, I have it, you know, being parallel compressed with everything else. And you can see I've got a compressor with some slow attack. If you have a slow attack, like 30 milliseconds, it can emphasize the transient the same way the transient, it emphasizes it just about the same as a transient, you know, plugin would affect it, but then it's also controlling the dynamics a little bit. And then I just have some shaker loops. Pan left, one pan right. This hi-hat, this one really drives it forward. I really like this. And generally, if I want to just even something out but keep the transients popping through, I'll just put a compressor on with slow attack. Let's see if we can hear the difference here. It's really subtle, but that's just going to be just compressing it down just a little bit. Okay. And that's pretty much it for the drums. So I'm going to go up here to the bass. So just for the beginning, I have like a just really simple, that's just this filtered saw wave. And it's just silent whatever, from one of Myon's packs. Myon, if you happen to be watching this, thanks for that. Ooh. I definitely didn't want that, so it's really filtered out because it's just really subtle. Breakdown part. So what do I have on the bass? I'm setting it to parallel compression return. I have some more compression on it with a slow attack. I've got the decapitator. I'll play it. Actually, I'll get to that. The drop section, I'll kind of go through more of that in a little second. Here, I just have this pad. If we jump up to the mids and the highs, got this pad. I really like the Poly 6, that kind of synth wavy type synth. Right here, that's the main one is actually this right here. If you hear right here, I played this and kind of came up with this little melody. It kind of leads into this breakdown section. That's kind of cool. Really, this track's only like 2 chords. You know, I just had these, if I remember correctly, it took me a while to produce this, a little bit too long. And I was playing around with this, and I just came up with these 2 chords. But, you know, if you have 2 basic chords, you can come up with a lot underneath it, you know, so. And then, let's see, for this up here leading in here, I just have these plucks. It's really just this one thing that comes in. Got some saturation. A little bit of compression. Transient master to kind of make them pop more. It's really subtle. One thing you'll notice, and one thing I've noticed that like more of the professionals do, like if you watch like a disclosure stream or something like that, it's not like there's one plugin that you throw on and it just makes everything better. It's almost like 5 plugins, each doing a little bit here and there, and they all add up to make something sound a lot better. So if I have a plugin on something and I turn it off, you might not even notice that much of a difference. But if I turn all of them off, you notice a huge difference. And I'll show you that when we get to the vocals especially. So moving right ahead. Really, there's just this breakdown part. I'll go ahead and show you the vocals really quick. Or not really quick. The vocals are probably some of the coolest stuff here. So vocal processing. So I have this. I have a send and return for a long reverb that I always have set up. In this case, I'm using Valhalla Room, 5 seconds. It's a way that you can send stuff to a reverb and it creates a nice atmosphere. And then if you really push it up, you know, it's like adding quite a bit of reverb to it, but then it's parallel, so you can still have the be kind of up front while adding the reverb to it, if that makes sense. And so I'll just play this for a bit, but then I'll get to the really cool the vocal processing on the main vocal here, and you can just hear this. So I got a long delay, lots of stuff going on here. Let's take a look. Got the waves tune, some compression, little alter boy. It's a pretty, I only have one compressor because it was already a pretty flat, like if you look at the dynamic, like the waveform is, there's not, I don't have to control the dynamics much at all. And so I just have the compressor on there doing a little bit, and decapitator, love the decapitator, of course. Yeah, anyway, let's just get to the main vocal because it's more exciting. So, okay. So, solo this, and I'll play, I've got recorded myself 3 times, pretty standard, layered myself, one's pan left, one's pan right. If I do this over again, I'd probably EQ out, do more EQing, I guess, on these layers, but not really sure. So let's take a look at this. So, and like I said, it's little things that add up. So, watch this. So I've got Melodyne to really connect it going into waves tune. So I really kind of wanted that like more auto-tuney kind of sound. I've got how I would do this differently. So if you take a look at the CLA 2A, I lie awake for you. It's really only doing a little bit on the loudest part, and then I have it this Pro C with the high-ish ratio, and then let's play it again. I lie awake for you. With a slow attack, some gain up. So that's doing a fair amount of work. Let's look at the. I lie awake for you. If I would do this over again, kind of nowadays what I do is I'll have a compressor with a high ratio, fast attack, something like the CLA 76. I always forget what it's called. And then just catching the peaks. And then I'd go into the CLA 2A. And the CLA 2A, it just sounds really good. It's based on like the vintage compressor, and the attack setting is kind of like, it's like a 10 millisecond. It's just like a really smooth compressor, and it's really good for vocals. It's a pretty common compressor stack. And anyway, and then I've got the manipulator. And so if I play this and I turn this off and on, you probably won't hear much. Let's go ahead and take a listen. I lie awake for you. I lie awake all night. So it's really subtle. And I got the EQ here, Pro Q. I'm taking out some harsh frequencies. One thing is, before I forget, I did put on the main vocal, I have the vocals grouped, and I remember there were some harsh frequencies just in this, or it was just feeling like it was harsh, and so I all night for you. I put some multi-band dynamics just in this area to control, and I just felt like it was kind of making it less harsh, and so that's what I did right there. And so let's see, whoops. So if I play it without the EQ on, I lie awake all night for you. I lie awake all night for you. It actually sounds like almost the same. And I mean, I used a Neumann U87 to record this, which is obviously a really great microphone. And so I'm actually not sure. Yeah, there's not that, you can't hear that much of a difference when I turn the EQ on, but it's, you can hear more if I have this fresh air on there, which I do really subtle amount. I don't know exactly how this works. I think it's adding like some EQ and also a little bit of like saturation, I believe, to the high end, that sparkle. So let's go ahead and take a listen. I'll turn it off. I lie awake all night for you. I'll turn it on. I lie awake all night for you. You can hear there's a little bit of air that's being added, fresh air, when I add that in. So, and this one, so let's take the look at this. So The reason I really like this chorus effect, and when I mixed my vocals, I was really inspired by this track. And I'm not saying my vocals sound nearly as good as this guy's, but this track, Deep at Night, the Adam K and Soha remix. If you haven't heard it, go listen to it right now. It's a classic. I love that era of dance music. Like, I think it came out in like 2008. Back then, and like when I got into this in like 2010, I listened the Adam K and Soha stuff was like really inspiring. I really love that progressive, like the plucks and the that progressive house sound. I really kind of miss uh, that time for EDM. And yeah, so the Adam K and Soha remix of Deep at Night. And I kind of wanted to mix my vocals to sound like that. They're kind of aggressive and they're layered and they've got this cool chorus effect on them. I mean, at least I think. I lie awake all night for you. So like I said, it's subtle. It's all of these things that add up. And when I get to the end of this chain, I'll turn them all off and then you'll really hear the difference. And then I just have some delay, and then I've got the Valhalla shimmer. This, if I play, you will hear a difference. Let's go ahead and take it without it. I lie awake all night for you. See, now I only have it mixed on 0.10. Let's turn it on though again. I lie awake all night for you. See how it kind of like in the back just like fades away and sounds really nice. I just really like the Valhalla shimmer. You can use that on so many things and make some really atmospheric stuff. And that's like one of those plugins I would highly recommend you just buy. Valhalla makes really good stuff. And then I think this kick sidechain, it's just sidechaining the reverb to the kick once it comes in. And in this whole project file, I have a sidechain, like a little snappy sidechain thing set up, and because I know some producers do this, they have like a designated sidechain sound that they, because they like to have control over the sidechain. Nowadays, I just sidechain stuff to the kick because I feel like it makes more sense to sidechain stuff to the kick, because it's the kick drum in your track. You might as well sidechain it to that, and it just feels like it's more cohesive. That's just my opinion. That's just how I'm doing things nowadays. And you can use volume shapers and stuff like that too. But now let's take a listen. I'm going to play the vocal without anything on this. I have it all grouped. Now let's hear the difference that all this processing makes when I take it all off. So here's it with nothing. I lie awake for you. I lie awake all night for you. Okay, now listen with it. I lie awake for you. I lie awake all night for you. See, that's the difference that good processing really can make on a vocal. And obviously, if I was making a different style of music, like a country song or something, I wouldn't have this much processing. But it's EDM music. You want to make it sound really cool and different and like epic. So yeah, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play it again. I'm gonna just toggle on and off so you can really hear the difference. I lie awake for you. I lie awake all night for you. Now what I'll do is I'll play them all together with the layers, and now you'll really hear the difference here. I lie awake for you. I lie awake all night for you. I lie awake for you. Cool, yeah, so that's the vocals. That's how I process the vocals. If anything, if I were to change it up now, I'd probably, like I said, do the compression a bit different. And I might make the layers a little bit softer because it sounds like you kind of want to make it sound like one person. And, it does sound like that, but it almost sounds like you can almost hear that there's multiple takes. Anyway, it sounds good though, I think. And this is the first track I've ever released, with my vocals on it. I was uncomfortable singing on my stuff for a long time, but I just decided to go for it. and I think it's gone well. So let's get to this part where I built into the drop. Okay, so this is obviously not all this stuff's turned on. It's like frozen, and then I just jumped to audio because saving on PC, or yeah, saving on the CPU. But this main pluck that I use is from this classic, I don't know if I'll ever use it again, but I've had Nexus since I started with producing. I've had Nexus, and I've always had this sound in here. And I just really like that. And, with layering, this is kind of like, you're going to see, this is like the beauty of layering. With layering, you just want to layer different sounds together to kind of make one big sound, one thick sound. And the more, with layering, it's really, I feel like the difference between a amateur and a pro is really comes down to a couple things, and layering is definitely one of those things. And there's not like a set way to do it. I think just experiment with it. And if you're layering like saws or pads, then you want to be careful with how you EQ things, But in this case, I just stack them on top of each other, and it seems to work well. So. And there's almost too much going on, Like I've got these pluck stuff going back here. And then I have this, where is it? If I could go back and redo this, I'd probably mix it a little cleaner, and I'd probably have this pushed back further. So yeah, I've kind of got like 3 melodic things going on here. As you can hear, you got the main melody, that main big pluck, which is out in front, and you got those other sounds further back, and so you have that depth that really makes it sound nice. There's a lot going on, but if you mix it in a way that, I've got these are like panned, let's see. Actually, that's one of the layers. Whoops. Is this even turned on? Yeah. So like, if I could go back, I may mix this a little bit cleaner, but you've got the main pluck, you got the other stuff that's just in the background, and it really adds up to create, if you listen to this. And last thing, I've got these pianos that come in here. Hear all the power this adds. Watch what happens if I turn these off. See, it's subtle, but when I have these in there, but just listen how much that adds. And these are really pushed far back. You can hear that there's a lot of reverb on this. I just really love the that powerful piano, Chord 1 M1. Kind of goes into that final drop, with the vocal. It's kind of like a, pretty powerful with the melody going on, and they got the vocal, and it's like this last, last hurrah. When I was making this, I thought, oh, should I have like verses and like a, but then I'm like, there's nothing wrong with having something simple that just sounds good. So I've got the vocal hook. It goes in, it leads up to a drop. Vocal hook comes in again. It's pretty powerful. It's simple, and maybe I could have had some verses in there and whatnot, but it works. So that's pretty much everything. We'll go up to the white noise. We can see my dog's barking in the background, but you can see what's added or the difference that the white noise makes. So let's go ahead and turn the white noise off. Now let's go ahead and see what happens when I add it. So you can hear it's like kind of subtle, but then it's not. Like I don't like, you have to think about your mixes and productions with depth. I really try to talk about this a lot, the depth, because so, you know, this white noise, if I take it away, there's a big difference. And when I add it in, if I add it in though, it's not like right in your face. There's not like these giant annoying sweeps right in your face. They're just layered and they're just there and they're in the mix well, so that they add this energy. And that way, you know, if this was played live, you know, you could have like the shh, like, and it just adds this energy to it that just sounds really good. And yeah, let's see the plugs. Do I have any group processing? Just decapitator. I pretty much put decapitator on everything, and it's almost like I should probably change up the different saturation that I'm using, you know, because it's nice to have different kinds of saturation on each group to kind of, it's like a different color, you know. But decapitator is great. And so, and with decapitator, you can play with the different buttons. I have it on A here. I really like E. You know, you could do probably one of each, and yeah, so I have just a little bit, and it's just adding saturation and like a little bit of life to all of the instruments. And like I said, you'll really notice that it's really all about it's like 10 things that add up versus one thing, you know? It's like a bunch of stuff that adds up to make something great. It's not just one thing that, you know? And so, especially with my channel, I like to, I'm going to try to stay away from like stuff where it's like the one thing that'll make your music sound amazing. Because there's never anything like that. There isn't just one thing. There's certain ideas like, you know, depth as a concept. And if you get depth down, that's going to make your music a lot better. And so I'll talk about that, but there's not like one plugin that's going to just make your music sound amazing. So yeah, I think that's pretty much everything. I did add in the final drop section like a hat that you'll hear if you listen to the final version, which I'm gonna have a link below, for the Spotify link. And yeah, I'm trying to think. That's pretty much it. And you'll hear, you know, when I play this back with no mastering on it, it still sounds really good, right? So imagine how good it sounds mastered. That's what you really want to aim for. You have a really good mix, and the mix is so good that when I don't even have any mastering on, you almost couldn't even, if I told you this was mastered and I played it back, you might not even know, you know? But I told you that I have no mastering on here, but the mix is fairly good. Yeah, drums, but I'm trying to think if there's anything I didn't go over. That pretty much covers it. And like I said, after I'm done with this walkthrough, at the end of this video, I'm just going to have one playthrough where I just kind of click around, but I play the entire thing from start to finish so you can hear that. And yeah, I think that's everything. This definitely went past 15 minutes, but I tried to cover everything. And yeah, so if you like this video, please like and subscribe. Please comment below. If there's anything you think I could have done better, let me know. Always trying to get better. This is just the beginning. So I'm going to have more and more music come out. It took me a long time to really start releasing stuff like this. I was a stock music producer for quite a while, and I just put a lot of time into that. But now I'm really pursuing my dream of being a dance music producer. So this is the start of it. And yeah, so let me know what you think, and I appreciate it, and hope this walkthrough helped. I hope I gave you some good insight that might help when it comes to your own music. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. And I'll see you later.